Hello everyone, welcome to Tuesday on Your View. I am Mariah Folabi Brown. As always, I never do this alone. I have the ladies in the building. Glamour in the building.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year to
We haven't seen YK
in a long time.
in a very long time.
Yes.
You are babysitting.
Yes.
Happy New Year. You are babysitting.
I've collected work.
But how?
And my grandson loves me so much.
No.
So much.
He's always clinging on you.
Hey.
Like,
Honestly, he's always once he just sees me like this, with this smile, radiant. He just anybody who, even if his mom is carrying him, he will come to me.
That love is indescribable.
Now, wow.
So I didn't know what to expect when YK became a grandma. I know that she does her nails and she's so fashionable, but then I'm seeing YK backing baby, as in she loves it. The baby is comfortable. You know that this baby is used to being at YK's back. It's really impressive.
My daughter has warned me that I will post him to you if he gets to England and he wants back. I said, don't worry, I'm coming.
So do you bath him?
Every morning, evening.
I think she does like, oh my gosh, she's doing like a proper, yes. It's really impressive, honestly. I'm sure people don't expect it.
Yes. And he's so cute. He's really cute.
Yes.
Not because he's my grandson, but because he's cute. I should have given you some pictures to put. Oh, he's so...
Yeah, don't worry, it's just Thursday. You still bring pictures for us.
Yes.
Since she has refused to come on the show.
Are they still around?
Yeah, she's here till February.
Okay.
Her husband has left though.
Right, but that's nice.
He can't understand Nigeria at all. And when they're speaking to him, he doesn't know what
What is it?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
You know, my mind was speaking English, Abby.
How you doing, Mariam?
I'm doing good. Thank you for hosting us.
Oh, it was my pleasure.
The kids had so much fun. We left with Nima. They were all sleeping and seriously snoring in the car when we left. And they have been talking about your house.
That's my kids too.
Like my son, they have a swimming pool at school, and he just always finds a way not to swim. But since he's been to your house, he's now very adamant that he must learn to swim so that when he goes back to your place,
my kids insisted I pay for swimming because last time they said they don't want to swim. But after your house, we had to pay for swimming this time around because they just fell in love with swimming all the way. Because it's fun when you have your friends around you.
Exactly. Then you should bring them. You should make swimming dates for them.
Yeah.
And my brother has a swimming teacher.
There's a coach on the JJ.
Yeah, so all his kids can swim.
Yeah.
Yes, all the kids there could swim.
How are you doing, Topsy?
I'm very good.
Have you sorted out house girl issues? Do you have any house girl issues?
No, I don't.
I do.
Bless God.
They're not here.
Because last year was tough with having no nanny for a long time. I don't have an house girl. I don't have a house girl. I have a nanny, a housekeeper.
Somebody that helps.
Someone that comes to the house in the morning and closes in the evenings. And it's a structure that works well for us so far. God bless her. I know she doesn't work the show, but then I just really feel blessed.
Nice.
Aside from that, school is resuming tomorrow. My school, as usual, very unique. They don't resume on Monday, they resume on Wednesday.
I don't know who came with that thing, but that thing's fantastic.
Okay.
It's fantastic concept I've ever seen. And I just joined their school 2 years ago, and I realized they don't open on Mondays. I get fantastic because
you're not in that rush.
That pressure,
yes.
You know?
So I think
it's a
really
very good idea.
Fantastic. So we're going to school tomorrow. The kids are like, oh, I said, don't worry, don't complain. Tomorrow you're going to school. You should be happy. Yeah, we're happy. We've missed school, so apparently they want to do something.
A lot of them have missed school though. A lot of
them
they've
missed their friends.
No, they don't miss school. They don't want to go to school.
Well, they have so much fun at home then.
Don't mind them.
Can I just say this thing before? Tokpe, please, those wigs that you wear, can you please stop?
Why?
Look at this is beautiful. I don't know why she wears those funny wigs. Some are red, some are green. This is lovely.
I love my hair.
Yes.
I actually really do.
I actually love your hair.
Yes.
It looks so
People,
pretty.
and I had it for 3 years without having any fixing or anything. So I just felt like let me experiment and see myself differently just for that.
Change is the only constant thing. Let her change.
I beg you.
I mean,
thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it.
Stop looking like caricature of
Oh my Lord. Well, I like.
Who are you talking to?
The wigs. Don't
Who
mind.
are you talking to?
Let me sing Bob Marley for you. If the cap fits,
let them wear it.
Yeah, wear my wig. Why you cannot intimidate me here? Let me go on a break. When we come back, we still don't understand the viewers. You understand? Mariam read the
try.
viewers.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll
try.
read parts of it.
Stay with us. We'll be right back. So let's start with Supposed to start with Punch. What is Tribune doing here? Politicians buying PVCs from voters, says INEC chairman. Over 84 million Nigerians to vote in 2019. So that's the final figure, right? I learned about my husband's death on WhatsApp, says wife of the naval officer. Ibadan Magaji's cautions CCII against chieftaincy reforms. Court bars Rivers APC candidates from 2019 elections. Military coup foiled in Gabon. No provision for petrol subsidy in 3 years, says PPPRA. Tinubu takes full charge of my campaign, says Buhari. 2019 FIRS sets 8 trillion naira revenue target. Wow. And Shetima whips begs president to end Boko Haram insurgency. Yeah. Okay, as usual, in point, let's take the human interest story.
Can I check it?
Go ahead, YK.
Maybe that's the only story I read.
Yeah.
Her name is Dipriye.
Dipriye,
okay. Is she from your side?
No. She's Rivers State. One of my best friends from Rivers State.
Okay, anyway. She learned of her husband's death from WhatsApp. They just got married December 8th, 2018. He left 5 days after the wedding for this his assignment. And then she said that night she had tried to call him and his phone was off. Oh, no, she couldn't get through, so she turned off her phone. When she put on her phone in the morning, it was her husband's friend's DP that she saw WhatsApp status that her husband had died. She says she was just about to run out of the house when the commander came and said that her husband had passed. Her husband is
the good thing is her husband,
lovely
the
person.
commander came in.
Yeah. She was just running to see him, to go and find out.
Find out what happened.
You know.
Oh, really sad. See, these are real stories that we don't get to hear.
And I think that we don't honor these people. A lot of these people sacrifice their lives. These people are they are Nigerians like us, and they put their lives on the line to protect us.
You're going to say something?
Yes, she said something I found so, heartfelt. She says it was an honor to be married to him. She was married to him for 3 weeks. She said she married the man of her dreams. So just, we pray for her. And
yeah, because it can't be easy. Hopefully, maybe she will have.
Let's move on now to
early for future plans.
I think it's too early. Too early to talk about future plans. Let's move on to the nation.
Something before he passed.
Okay.
The Nation, Buhari. Tinubu will be fully in charge of my campaign. That's most of the headlines we have today. Lagos Kano top list of voters. Card reader to confirm voters' fingerprints. Army defense action on daily trust amid knocks. Court bars Rivers APC candidates. And oil price jumps to $58.
That's good news. Oil price in being 58 is good news for us, but it's due to the fact that the UAE cut down their own supply by 500,000 barrels. So it's not something we should be ecstatic about because the price is still less than what we benchmarked for 2019. And since our revenue is still majorly from oil, we need to be aware that things might not really be looking up for us economically.
Let's talk about INEC. The numbers are out. So we have Northeast has 20.2 million voters. The Southwest has 16.3. South-South 12.9. South-East 10 million. North Central 13.4. And Northeast 11.3 million voters.
And Lagos had 6 million. So
that's a large number.
Yeah, okay. Isn't this where the
Can I talk about
the new ways of sort of rigging the elections? So INEC mentioned that that they've noticed a new way that people are going about buying voters PVCs and also getting their numbers, their registration numbers, and getting their bank account details. And so I think INEC is trying to find ways to make sure that that does not count. According to them, they think that by buying off the PVCs, will stop these people from actually voting. But I don't know how much.
But the thing is, we have 6 million voters in Lagos. My plea is that everybody that registered should endeavor to go out to vote.
Yes, now.
Because at the end of the day, the last election, we had less than 50% voter turnout, and we don't want that happening this election. Let people turn out to vote.
Voter lethargy, because a lot of people believe that no matter if I vote, they will still rig it. So people are just.
We need to leave that.
I didn't read the Daily Trust one. Did anybody read it?
We read it yesterday, but the updates.
I don't have that
because
reply
I'm wondering why soldiers are the ones that will raid.
No, what happened was that there was a front page story that Daily Trust carried on Sunday. And that story, according to them, was almost like it was a national security issue. They were actually divulging information highly classified information on the front page, and that was for them. So they had to rate to find out
What does that mean?
where was the source of the story, who actually published this, and which editor, which of the editors actually approved it to go on it. So that was what happened.
But then there's
the response, but I didn't read that article today.
There's a side of the story which is not that they actually divulged important something that hasn't been
the strategy
out
there
there.
was.
No, it wasn't a strategy. They had talked about that the army was going to try and reclaim some areas that they had already claimed there was no Boko Haram there. So by reporting that news, it showed that there's a difference in story. So if you're going to claim a place that you already said you had claimed before. And then so that's
not the story I read. Though. What I read
that's
was
the side.
That's the side. But the classic that I heard was
because me, I know it's police that go and get such one. Are we in military regime?
No, they also worked with police.
Was national security related.
That the army
Let's move on to Vanguard, please.
Police officer.
Governor Shettima whips at Aso Rock seeks urgent intervention. MacBan splits over Buhari article in Taraba. FG reaches agreement with ASU, releases 15.4 billion naira for salary shortfall. Wow. Which other story do I take here? FIRS records 1.4 trillion naira shortfall in 2018 and sets a new revenue target. Minimum wage, Labour CSOs begin nationwide protest today. Okay, and
Shettima.
I've not filled my tank.
Okay, so Shettima is the governor of Borno State, and he was at meeting with the president. And at the meeting, we had Babo Gana Monguno, retired Major General, Chief of Defense Staff, the acting DG of NIA, and they're just talking about the issues, the security issues that they're having in the northeast, Borno in particular, and how even though, you know, they've had these issues for a while, there just seemed to be an upsurge. And while the governor was speaking about it, he burst into tears, and he said he cried, you know, for a long time as he was talking, and just asking that, you know, we should find a way out.
This just shows that they haven't quelled the Boko Haram, and that was one of these governments' campaign that they would quell the Boko Haram, and they haven't done it. So I think they should go back to the drawing board and know how they are going to.
It's really
the Boko Haram is still existing.
Right.
We
keep getting conflicting reports that they've been quelled. We have this been
decimated. Which is why the reports, I like you mentioned the part that they were going to reclaim a place that they said had been claimed before.
Okay, let's see which other story we're going to take in Nigerian Tribune. Borno governor whips in meeting with Boko Haram. In meeting with Buhari over Boko Haram. Let me get that right. Amina Zakari, not related to Buhari family, insists. Okay. Tinubu fully in charge of my re-election campaign, says Buhari. Minimum wage today is day of protest, mass mobilization, not strike. So hopefully there won't be any issues. Right.
Well, okay. Amina Zakari, I think she should bring out her family tree quickly because we don't believe.
We're Nigerians. We're all related somehow, I'm sure.
We are not. I'm not.
Who read the article? Nobody read the article. The Amina Zakari article. Okay, all right.
Because it's the same thing. We want to with Tinubu's story. So really, I saw it major headline, Daily Sun, that Tinubu will take over my campaign, and I was wondering, could this be linked to the fact that the audio we heard that Amechi made a statement, but I read through and it was just saying that he entrusts his campaign to Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, being that he's a national leader and that he's going to co-chair the campaign. All the buck stops with him, that though the presidency himself will be involved with the campaign, but if he entrusts the campaign now to Bola Ahmed.
Because actually the president is the chairman of the campaign, but he says he wants to fully concentrate on governance.
Right.
So he's giving that to.
Can we do have time for one more paper?
Yeah.
New Telegraph. Let's take the health story here. So faulty sperm could cause miscarriage.
Please.
Want to take that story?
No, because what most of the time, this is clinical research done, proving that most people tend to think that when miscarriages take place, it is the fault of the woman that carried the pregnancy, that couldn't carry it through. But that based on clinical research now, faulty sperm causes miscarriages. And they did a test on those whose wives had less miscarriage and those whose wife had more miscarriage, and their sperm had more DNA dysfunction. Wow. So men, please, check yourself too. Right. Don't just
You're going to take a story.
Yes. So APC in Rivers State do not have a a candidate for the election. That is because during the APC primaries, they had different factions that put up different candidates,
direct
and
indirect.
They're saying
everything, both Senate, House of Assembly.
But it's about 3 weeks till the election. We hope something comes out.
Let's
the courts have
the government magic that's going to happen.
High court.
They will go to appeal court.
We'll see how that's
time.
It's 3 weeks. That's all we can take. That's all we can take on front page review. When we come back, this stealing of female underwears has seriously become a major threat, especially in certain states. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So recently we have been hearing of different stories and reports of how people are suspected of stealing used female underwear for different reasons. Some say ritual purposes. However, CSP Dolapo Badmus recently said that people who are caught stealing underwears for ritual purposes could be charged with attempted murder. Now, what are your thoughts on this? Join the conversation on 070-806-68014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag your TVC so we can read your tweets. We're not focusing on what the police said. Focusing on, number one, how do you even best protect your underwear or your pants? Because we are very used to calling pants here in Nigeria. How do you protect yourself from being a victim of these people? Back in the day, when a guy takes your underwear, I don't know. It's almost, it's just like a sexy thing in movies. So, like, you've seen those kind of things where guys in the movies, they'll take your underwear and it's like, oh my God, he loves me, he wants to be, that kind of rubbish. But now, you're even scared if you go over to your boyfriend's house and you're giving me a story about somebody.
It's really worrisome because right now we'll be getting people extremely suspicious and, start being fearful. But the truth is that people have said that some boys still used female underwear for ritual purposes to get wealth. And they've caught some that was linked to the fact that they took the underwear in order to get wealth. So my worry is now that let us make this aware and open to everybody. What are the things to do? What should you look out for?
When you wash your
if your boyfriend or girlfriend is now, if your boyfriend is taking your underwear, you should be suspicious of that person.
I have a question. When you wash your underwear, do you take it outside? I thought you dry your underwear inside in the bathroom.
So, when I had my baby, my daughter, we had this auntie come stay with us. Me, when I wash my underwear, I learned it from secondary school because first of all, in secondary school, you wash your underwear and then put it under your towel. And we're having all sorts of itchies. Right. And the school matron was like, take them outside and dry them. Right. But your girls are like, no. So I learned that you put your undies outside to dry. This my auntie comes to visit and she's like, you put your undies outside. What if someone sees? I'm like, so I understand all this. I don't understand it. It sounds crazy that someone will pick someone's underwear and then make money. Sorry, if it's about rituals, people use heads and whatever. If it's to part that will make you wealthy, then for me, I think it's good. Go with it.
Nobody affects the girl.
How? It does not make sense to me.
Side effects of the girl.
You don't understand.
Obviously, I don't understand because I do not understand how someone would take my used underwear and for me, whatever is in there and is bad in there, that means you take it and it goes to you.
Let me finish the explanation.
It doesn't
Usually
make sense.
Mari, you're such a foreigner.
No, but it doesn't make sense.
I'm more street smart than you. Goodness. I feel like I'm more street smart.
So people say that when they take those underwear, the ladies fall ill. They can't have children or their period stops. There are those side effects of what happens to them.
Can I just say that? I think it's all just superstition. Let me tell you why I think so.
Okay, give them the underwear first.
When I was, let me tell you,
yes.
When I'm tired of my underwear, I throw them in the dustbin. Finish, Shikena. My sister used to say,
please don't do that again, because people will go and be looking at they'll be looking through your dustbin now.
I cannot even bring myself to start to cut up my underwear.
Please start.
I cannot bring myself to, or any part of my clothes, or I can't. Okay, if they can do that with my underwear, then they can do it with my clothes. And apart from, the reason I keep my own inside the house is not because I'm afraid of who will steal it. I'm afraid of tombow fly.
Right.
Because if tombow fly settles on your underwear and you wear it and you will wear it.
Oh, okay. So, ever since I was a kid, my mother actually taught me as a kid that you have to cut them into little pieces. So I take my time, the bras, the underwears, I cut them into tiny pieces. When you finish, take it outside, put small kerosene, burn it.
Yeah, but she was teaching you to be hygienic. She was not teaching you to be running away from ritualists.
There was a very funny video online, and it was not a joke. It was actually a white garment church, and they were praying genuine prayer. The woman was now praying that because now societally it is out here, especially within our area. We can't deny the fact that within this our southwest region, it has become an issue that we should face.
Can you remember,
and in resolving the issue is to let people open their eyes to how can I protect myself.
No. Can you remember them?
When they touch them? And now there was a time that they would touch a man.
When you are walking on the street, that they will just touch you. When you just do like this, you will
not
see
it
your
again.
this thing. So everybody was walking in streets like this. I'm like,
I'm telling you.
No, I agree. I knew that when I was young, but I knew that happened. So let's be aware. We cannot keep denying and be praying and be doing.
I never met anybody that they carried this thing.
No,
but
I've
we
never
hear.
seen.
I've never met anybody that they've carried her underwear.
He's not a joking matter.
Viewers, don't listen to her.
He's not a joking
This is the
matter.
situation. This is what I think you should do. Always try to wear panty liners. At least, so if they take your underwears, there's nothing. Because the idea, what they're saying is the fluid from the woman that's being used. That's what we're being told.
Mariah, let me tell you. You know,
they said
the old thing
they even take the washed ones. So which fluid are they getting?
They didn't
okay, apart from
the used ones. Like
I heard that, you know, folk tale, you know, the way our ancestors used to tell stories, they would come up with superstitions like this and stories like this to teach us, you know, the way to behave. So like you're talking about panty liners, you're teaching people about panty liners by making them afraid, you know, that this could happen, and then so they tend to use panty liners. You teach children about not picking money from the floor by saying they will turn to gold, by turning to gold. I do not believe these stories. It does not make sense to me.
Have you ever picked money from the floor?
No, I haven't. Because I was told that story.
Yes, you see money on the floor, you pick it.
No. In the days when money was money, 20 naira, I saw 20 naira on the floor. And
anyway,
I picked it.
No, I heard that
and I didn't talk to a
goat. They told us that if you drink Gary and mango, you die. Have you ever tried it before?
Yes,
I tried.
Yeah.
I don't like
mango and Gary.
I've tried that. You will die because you'll be so bloated. So it's
let me take this call from Roy.
Roy,
are you there? Thanks for calling. Please leave that matter. Are you there?
Hello, good morning.
Go ahead, please.
Good morning from the Asian city of Benin.
Yes, so from Benin, Asian city of Benin.
It's quite unfortunate that as a people we have degenerated to this level.
Thank you.
But I believe that the female post should also be very careful.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Since our boys, they decided to be very wicked, why we expect our female to also develop a mechanism to stand it. You understand me? Because now that the male posts are not interested in picking the female underwear for money and ritual purposes, you know, this is not time for the female to lose guard. They should be able to wage war against the male also. You understand me? They must protect their underwear.
Thank you very much. So we shouldn't just be oblivious of the reality. The truth is that these things are happening, whether we want to believe it or not. So if you're a woman and you're living with a man, either married or single, or your relationship, just be careful. Count your underwears.
How careful can
Count
you get with your husband if he decides to use your underwear?
You're done. Have we not heard stories? Really? Have we not heard stories of men that use their women, their husbands for?
I read an article where a couple, after they had their kids, 4 kids, and then the husband said, "Listen, this is the situation. No, we're going to make money, but let's use your fluid." So there's no issue of, and the woman agreed.
What Nollywood movie was that? Please.
It was probably a Nollywood movie. But the point is that these things usually happen.
Can I read this one?
Yes, YK.
Only people who do this stealing underwear is superstitious babble. To calm people's fears, pray on the underwear and say, "I cover myself with the blood of Jesus."
But that's the one we are wearing. The one that they've taken call.
Aunjay Nafiu says, at the people, this is made believe and heartbreaking quest for money these days is fast becoming worrisome. People's unbelievable, heartbreaking quest for money is fast becoming worrisome. Hence, our female child should start disposing their underwear and sanitary pad appropriately.
All right.
Tola says, it is worrisome that educated and enlightened people still peddle this unfounded stories of using female underwear for rituals. God will protect you.
I need to ask you.
Where is this evidence?
Let me take this call.
I need to ask you this question.
Please, come here, we hold it for a while. Come here, you there?
Yes.
Go ahead, please.
Okay. Hello, good morning, ladies.
Morning, go ahead, you're live. You're live, go ahead, please.
Okay. Hello, good morning.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. With regards the subject this morning, I must confess that the rate at which our guys are really taking female undies is becoming something that we really need to talk about, like we are doing this morning. Okay. But however, I want to suggest and advise our female ladies that aside the fact that the undies are being taken for ritual purposes, for the fact that it is a private property, you understand, they shouldn't, make it a public thing. Keeping their undies outside, drying it outside. Because when I grew up
Right.
with the understanding that your undies are your private thing.
Very
and
private,
they should be kept in a private,
Fantastic.
The Niger face says, chicken and egg never do them to do rituals. This is stupid. I suggest ladies keep their pants safe and also wear decent clothes that will not expose their pants. This is total nonsense.
Excuse me. You have been told, a lot of women wear sanitary towels. You have been told that you don't put your sanitary towel in the toilet. You must put it in the dustbin. Yeah. Now, are you going to use your sanitary towel and carry it because of, listen, the juju man, carry your sanitary towel outside, cut it into pieces and burn it? Come on. We are now, you see, is it the poverty? Is it poverty that is doing us? Is it that we are now believing all kinds of nonsense?
You use your,
are we not educated?
You use your eye to protect your entire body.
All the Oyibo people in the world, is that what they are doing?
Don't prove me right. Don't prove me wrong. Just protect yourself. I am wrong. I am right.
I say I don't hang my own outside, not because of anybody stealing it, not because of Tombo.
Just protect yourself.
Mr. PJ comedian says, because of this matter of stealing pants for rituals, we can't even dash someone use clothes because you're scared of someone using it for rituals. Africa, sha.
Say what you want to say. If you like, carry your underwear, put it outside. That's your business. But those of you that want to play safe, just wash your underwears, keep it nicely. If you're done with them, I would personally advise you, cut them into pieces.
I go school.
I go school. That's what they taught me.
Protect yourself.
Protect yourself. Let's go on a break. When we come back, Mikey, don't worry. This is Nigeria. Why do we go to church? We pray, we believe all these things. Please, we're a spiritual country. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we discuss Lagos State Health Insurance Scheme. You don't want to miss this. You need to learn out some of this information. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So the Lagos State government recently unveiled its compulsory health insurance scheme that would avail Lagos residents access to quality health care. To enlighten us more on this is our guest from Lagos State Health Management Agency, Lashma. This is the Lashma. No, it's not Lashma. I don't know why you got to do it. Okay, he's the head of business development, marketing, and strategy, Mr. Rotimi Olatuji. Welcome to the show.
Welcome. Good morning.
Before we get into the business of today, what's your thoughts on this female underwear issue? I mean, we discussed it on the hot topic. What are your thoughts on it?
Still thinking though, but I think females should stop wearing pants.
Why? Because
solve the problem.
That will be foolproof.
Okay, all right. So you can join the conversation on 0708066814. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag TVC so we can read your tweet. So tell us what this insurance scheme is about, because obviously we've always bashed the government because we hear of NHIS, we hear of the fact that there's embezzlement of money, money is being allocated, yet for whatever reason the HMOs are not getting it. You know, you get all sort of stories from different angles. But Lagos State is somewhat taking an initiative to help those living in Lagos. Tell us about this initiative and how do we access it?
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning all. The Lagos State Health Scheme was launched on the 18th of December 2018. And let me just go through some level of historical antecedents. The idea to have a health insurance scheme in Lagos State was actually mooted by Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu while he was governor. And since then, the current Commissioner for Health, in partnership with a lot of donors and partners and technical group, have been working on putting on ground an agency that will midwife and supervise the scheme for residents of Lagos State. And so finally we launched the scheme on the 18th, and as I speak now, enrollment and registration is going on. Now, what do we mean when we say a health insurance scheme? It's a form of social security for the residents of Lagos. It is going to put a lot of people out of poverty line. It is the best global practice. And what we seek to do is to guarantee access to healthcare, accessibility, affordability to qualitative healthcare anytime, anywhere you need it within Lagos State. Now, you will be qualified if you can present your LASRA ID card or any form of identity card that can show that you reside in Lagos. And so therefore, LASHMA as an agency of government has empaneled and registered private and government hospitals that are going to provide services under the scheme. And also we're partnering with HMOs, that are the health insurance agents, that are going to work at the demand side of the business. It's a business of health this time around. Register people, bring in people, adjudicate, and of course ensure there's quality assurance at the supply end, which is from the provider.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm hearing that this is not purely a government-run business. It's a PPP. The money goes to Lagos State, or does it go to the HMO, or how do we access? What's the cash flow?
Every premium paid by an intending enrollee goes to the account of LASHMA, comes to government.
Okay.
Government has a responsibility to now pay the provider for the service that are being rendered. Upfront, that's what we call capitation, ahead of time, because you would never know when you pay, when you will need to access care.
Right.
And then fee for service as you refer for secondary care services.
Right. So what's the burden? What's the burden on the potential enrollees? What are the numbers? Are people going to be paying high premium? You say premium. Everybody's worried. How much would that cost us?
Well, at inception, insurance is not 1 + 1 is 2. Lagos State government consulted actuaries to be able to put the figures together and see how much.
Consulted who?
Actuarists. Actuarists.
What is that?
Actuaries are professionals that helps you to simulate and tell you how much you should pay for certain insurance benefits.
Okay.
Or for catalogs of insurance benefits.
Right.
So that it's sustainable at the end of the day, so that what you pay is scientific and it can guarantee continuity, you know.
Okay.
So therefore, the actuaries came up with a premium it's in the range of about 80-something thousand or thereabout. But Lagos State government has been able to do a lot by ensuring that citizens pay 40,000 naira per family as I speak. So it's highly subsidized.
That's annually?
Annually for a family of 6, father, mother, and a maximum of 4 children.
They have 4 children now.
And therefore, an individual will be paying 8,500 naira. And so government has made the scheme to be pro-poor, for it to be very affordable for the residents. And so if you have additional dependents, you could pay 6,000. That's when they are below the age of 18. But if they are above the age of 18, they can pay 8,500 as a premium for a single person.
That's for your parents.
So
parents.
A family is 8,500.
A family is 40,000
annually.
Per annum.
Yes.
And for that 40,000, you go to the hospital. You have to break it down for people like me. You go to the hospital for free.
You go to the hospital without paying a dime at the hospital end. Yeah. For the
There's always a
benefits.
catch.
So if you have one serious illness now, you still won't pay.
There's a defined benefit package.
Exactly.
Every
That's the
insurance
problem.
policy has defined benefit. It doesn't
So
cover.
emergencies,
So
my
the
question
question
is,
is,
okay.
you know, I was reading this, and for me, I think it's a very good initiative that the state should be able to do that for its residents and its citizens. And that Lagos State, as usual, is heading, you know, doing something like this. I don't think there's any other state in Nigeria that's doing that. And I've always found the NHIS a bit too far off for people, you know, because we have stories of, you know, the execution of it, corruption, who do you go and meet? But when the person is, you know, from the state, it's sort of, you know, easier to access and get there. But my point is, we've always had issues with executions of fantastic ideas are not, you know, hard to come by in Nigeria. But the execution of it, and then the very important, the very
details.
No, like corruption is something that always affects everything we decide to do in Nigeria. So in the execution of it, my question is now, why? How do we ensure that this is not just a good idea that finally just, you know, doesn't make it, doesn't cut it? We have issues with people talking about the HMOs. You go to the hospital, they say we don't recognize this HMO. You know, things like that.
Oh, thank you very much. First, I'd like to say that the fact that a woman had a sad incidence of losing a child does not mean she won't get pregnant again. We have learned from the ropes. We've looked at the downside of the NHIs. We've looked at models all over the world. We've looked at models in Africa. And I can guarantee you we've put in place measures that will ensure that this scheme works. On the side of the hospitals are key in the value chain, those that will provide the services. We have empaneled this hospital and we have quite a very high standard. There's a unit called EFAMA that is responsible for accrediting these hospitals. There's a quality assurance mechanism that we're using currently. And so therefore, even the hospital that you find by way of physical facade that you think probably, oh, this is a good hospital, you discover that we may not even be registered hospital because they are falling below standard. So there are standards.
Okay. I'd like to go back to what YK was trying to say earlier, because the issue of benefits, what exactly is covered? You know, there are different schemes, there are different categories, and we've had issues of cancer, diabetes, people are having diseases, and you have the regular malaria, fever, those ones are covered, but the real core that people need,
the one that will kill you,
that will kill you, that they'll tell you, those things are usually not covered by insurance companies, and you have to find out. So tell us exactly what are the benefits based on the package, so that people know what they are in for. Do I still have a private one on the side, or is it just the basic stuff you're going to be covering for me as a provider?
Thank you. You do well as an advocate of the people, you know, from your questions. This scheme is social health insurance scheme.
Okay.
It's not going to give conditions that you are not covered because you are pregnant. In fact, if you were pregnant today and you can buy the plan today, you are covered. So it is not like the private scheme that you find the HMO selling. Okay. It's a social health insurance scheme. Okay. And it has defined benefit, like I said. So let me just give you a summary of the benefits that are covered. You know, before you put on a list of benefits for an insurance policy, you will have done some back-end research to see what usually do people go to hospital in Lagos State for. You know? What are the trends? You have what you call encounter data from the hospital to show you that if you must design a plan, these are the things you should be covering because people seem to be consuming more of this kind of service. So we have our outpatient consultation, that is common ailments and conditions. Okay. You have maternal care, you have newborn care, and then you have cesarean session if it is necessary. It's carried out for even 8,500 naira. And then you have TB testing and HIV testing. You're also covered for chronic ailments, which are basic chronic ailments like diabetes, asthma, hypertension, and in that category. Right. And then you have herniorrhaphy, minor surgery herniorrhaphy. You have appendectomy. And then,
no cancer.
No, I mean, the NHS is also discussing that, but it also says that the primary health center is supposed to be the first point of call for all enrollees.
Yeah.
Could you just talk about that?
Well, if you are on a plan, you choose a primary provider, So that's your first point of call, you know. Naturally, you find that in this part of the world, people have malaria. You find them in teaching hospitals, student hospitals, and the rest
So
of
the
them.
primary health center.
You know, so the primary health center, you know, so it's on that scale. You assess your primary point of call is a primary health center or your primary provider, as it be on the empanel list of hospital, and that is where you assess care. And that is at that point that you have the gate where you can be referred to a higher level of care, maybe a government hospital or a private
Let's
hospital.
go on a break. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So, Mr. Latunji, I want you to talk to maybe Yara Shidi that is watching right now. And she's a mother. She's alone. Maybe she's a single mother, has 3 kids, and she's a trader. And she's watching the program right now. And she needs proper care. What should she do? Where should she go? Where exactly? How does she get access to what Lagos State is providing for her?
Yeah, Yara Shidi, if educated, can go online and make payment. Any bank will also do physically and make payment. POSs will be available at various centers within every local government, especially in local government offices and in most of the hospitals we are going to be making use of. The Lagos State government is also going to empower a lot of individuals to be health ambassadors. They are going to be mobile. So they could come to Yara Rashidi's house, knock on her door and register her for free.
So is she paying the 4,000 upfront, or can she spread it throughout the entire year?
Well, insurance is prepaid, but we are working on a lot of modalities to ensure that people that fall within the class of people that may not be able to pay upfront can have the convenience of making some form of instrumental payment. So we're working on that.
Okay.
A lot of private hospitals that the NHIS, when you go there as a private patient, the NHIS patient, they will not even look at your face. They will answer the one that is going to give them money.
No, not all the time though.
What time are you telling me?
I'm experiencing what Whitey is saying.
I've experienced before.
Hey, please. You will tell your own experience. I will tell you my own experience. My own is that if I come in as a private patient, the NHIS patient, they will be there till tomorrow. If we are 10 with money, cash, hospital will not answer NH or NH whatever.
HMO.
So how do you solve that problem? Because I would hate to register and then I go to
just to ensure that
because I don't have money to pay, I'm waiting for Lagos State to help me pay.
Right. Private patients.
I tell you what, when we do you a card, you know what to put on your card? This is Yeni Kuti. Don't touch that dial.
No. But I think I also experienced it. I mean, I'm pregnant. I go to different hospitals all the time. And if I go with the one with my HMO, I know how I'm served. But when I go private, that's when they now start thinking all sort of tests that doesn't even, you bring out money, all tests that doesn't collect money, you need to do this test, do that test. And because I'm a private patient, I'm constantly paying. Because they know that they earn more money from a private patient. So the truth is, if you are carrying that Lagos State card, would you get the same quality service? Somebody who's a private patient, you get that? That's pretty much the question.
Thank you very much. Like she said, it is not whether it happened once or twice that is important. The fact is that it happens.
Exactly.
You know, what we have ensured under this scheme is that such occurrences do not happen. Now, you discover that there's a lot of gap in terms of even knowledge at the supplying, at the provider's end. Some of our hospitals, some don't even understand the concept of health insurance. And it brings my mind to change management. When you are trying to move from a way of doing something to a new way of doing things, you know, it appears very, very strange. So it was a two-thing problem with NHIs. Things are improving now, and we will ensure that they do not happen under this scheme.
Let me take this call from Ngozi. Ngozi from First Stack. Are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Good morning.
I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
I just want to make a contribution based on the question that you asked earlier on. They've taken my pants before 2 times, actually. Yes, 3 years ago when I was still living in Iba. They took my pants. I had them arrested because I saw their faces. And I didn't spread it outside. So this thing is not really about spreading your underwears outside. If they want it, they can use any means. They are desperate people. They came as thieves, as petty thieves. And I saw their face. And when people started screaming, ole, 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 they were the first to scream ole. I arrested them the next day.
And there's nothing happened to you, Sha? You didn't fall ill or anything?
They had to sign an undertaking at the station.
Right.
So they had to leave me. But a lot of girls that they do these things to, those girls either end up dying mysteriously or they run mad. That is like the number of young girls on the road now.
Thank you, Jare Ngozi.
Thank you. I have a question. You know, there are many policies that they come up with, like Miriam mentioned earlier. There are many ideas that we're not even short of. But we saw how Lagos Homes happened, you know, where, you know, it was really, really, some people benefited from it and then it just fizzled out. How do you intend to make Lashma sustainable in such a way that if I pay now, because the change of government or the change of person in charge of the state will not affect my payment and my access to healthcare?
Well, foremost, the Lagos State Health Insurance Agency came to existence through the enactment of a law, which was assented to by the governor, Mr. Kinwambode. So it has a legal framework establishing it. So it's not by fiat, it's not by some kind of quasi-arrangement, it's by law. So for it not to exist anymore, it means that certain moves must be made in the house to repeal the law. You understand?
There is this question, on Twitter. It says, on LS Health Insurance Scheme, is there an age limit? Can a 60-year-old or 70-year-old couple register? Is there a website to access full details?
Yes, there is a website to access. If you're 60, you can access. If you're over 60, you can access. Like I said, it's
17
you can access, you know. It does not matter. But what we have is that the benefit packages are defined. So if you're accessing care outside the benefit packages, you would have to pay for that. And that is just what we call the basic plan for everybody that is resident in Lagos. There will be other plans as we go by. So you could have top-ups. You could buy other kind of private scheme under the Lagos State Health Scheme. Then you can have a choice.
Let me take this call, then I'll come to Mariam. Oluwaseun, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, good morning, you have.
Good morning.
I want to talk on the insurance scheme about healthcare. What my representative discussed this morning about the healthcare. Can he really break down the insurance scheme? But I want you people to view it to the lower root, to the ground root. We are talking about the hospital generally. We are talking about the what they call health center. How can people benefit from it? Then secondly, to the healthcare, you are talking about the insurance scheme breaking out and all those things. There's a lot of facts that are affecting the hospital generally. That
I'm having trouble. Honestly, Oluwaseun, can you hear him? No, I don't. We're having serious trouble hearing you. It's not very
really
clear.
Sorry.
I'm really sorry about that, but Mariam had a question.
Yes, it's the scheme also says it's compulsory, meaning we don't have a choice.
It is compulsory.
So you cannot choose to not be part of it.
If you choose not to be part of it, you may have been on a private scheme, you know. The existence of private scheme in Lagos State and indeed in Nigeria predates the existence of the Lagos State Health Scheme. So you advise to continue on your private.
So, okay, someone like me, I'm not on any scheme.
Yeah, you advise.
I don't go to hospital even if I'm sick, I just pray.
You are advised, it's okay. You are advised to come on the LSHS scheme for one reason.
Yeah.
It is cheaper, it's more affordable for you to have a protection plan for yourself, just in case you fall ill. If you do not, you will still have to pay. It is for your own good. It's either you pay an affordable rate now, or when eventually you have the need to consume health, the person may go borrowing or begging.
Okay, so I want to quickly say that.
But the one you borrow for are the big illnesses, and the big illnesses are not covered under this scheme. So I'm maybe
we are fortunate we are informed because we play in that industry, And a lot of the death that occurs, you'll be surprised because of 2,000 naira, 1,000 naira,
yes.
500 naira.
So avoidable deaths, you know, people that can't get blood or people that can't buy syringe and all of that. Will we still have that issue? Because I use General Hospital, it's already very crowded. So now you want to open the access for more people to get into that same crowded General Hospital. Are you expanding facility to aid this surge that you're going to have in the hospitals?
Well, the surge that you refer to, how many of the people that visit the General Hospital can actually afford to pay for care? You know, if you go to General Hospital today, a quarter of the people in General Hospital are basically roving the compound of General Hospital begging for money.
I use General Hospital. I know that I can afford to pay for care. I go there and I see many people that are queuing up. There's no facility to take the people that are already on ground. That's what I'm saying.
So
you would add more people to that queue.
No. You see, the mechanism is to route those people back to the PHC, where they ought to naturally go. The private hospitals, the primary health care, where they are naturally supposed to assess the first level of care. That's exactly what's going to happen. So you are going to depopulate that place.
There are people listening to you right now. Sorry, there are people listening to you in Ondo. In Edo State. They go, they have this in Lagos State, please, I'm rushing down to Lagos State right now. Because then they come to Lagos State and register. So are you prepared for that influx of people coming in from other parts of the
Foremost, there must be evidence that you're a resident in Lagos.
You have an auntie that lives in Lagos, you call her address. It's not Lagos.
You will not be able to use your auntie's identity to access care. Your own identity to access care. Right. You understand? A clear evidence that you are a resident of Lagos without any doubt of those evidences.
Okay, there's this question. Good morning. I have a question for Mr. Rotimi. The hospitals under the LASHMA, are they all government-owned or private hospitals are included?
Private and government. All those people that you see in General Hospital, a lot of them don't have business in General Hospital. So we're going to begin to do the right things. And that is why we're empaneling hospitals.
We have to run off.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much. I think we've learned quite a bit from today.
Thank you.
Hopefully we'll bring you back here because this is important. We've always criticized healthcare in Nigeria. So this is a step in the right direction. Hopefully other states can also copy and follow suit. All right, that's all we can take on the show. Don't forget to watch repeats at 11 p.m. And also tomorrow is a live audience show. Please come early. Have a fabulous day. See you then. Bye-bye. Bye.